So what did I do differently than most people that I know personally in cryptocurrency from 2020 to 2022 and 2022 to 2026, the next bear market? So what I did is I got very, very strategic. I was done being in a vertical strategy. So before, I went to school, I got a job, got an education, I got a 401k, a vertical strategy. But what happens if you hit a market like 2006 to 2008 and you're about to retire? That's using the markets as your retirement strategy. So I started to think about this as I went into cryptocurrency. I was in the same position once again. I left corporate America, a banking job, a high-paid VP job, to start my own company, but I was stuck inside of my company. I did it incorrectly. I just bought another job. So now I went from trading time for money, I bought a job, and now I'm still trading time for money, and then I had cryptocurrency. And then some wise counsel walked into our facility, right? I was there trading time for money, and I was talking to him about crypto excitedly, and I'm like, oh, when cryptocurrency goes this, when this does this, I'm gonna retire. And he said to me very softly, he said, never mix your investments with your retirement. That was a life-changing conversation that changed my whole family's wealth for the next 1,000 years. So he walked out and I called him back and I said, what did you mean by don't mix your investments with your retirement? And basically, he talked about cryptocurrency, 401k, stock markets. Those are volatile things that go up and they go down. So using that as your retirement, well, what if it's not favorable? What if the market's not favorable when you retire? He said, have you ever thought of insuring your money? And that's when I first got introduced to insurance. I insured my car, I insured my house, I insured everything. I insured my family through term, but I never thought of insuring my money. I'd heard of bank-owned life insurance when I was a banker, but I'd never heard of anything like this. So that's when I first got introduced to insuring my money. And I'm gonna break down with you what I did differently from 2020 to 2022 and what I'm doing from 2024 to 2026. So what I do is I'm invested in the cryptocurrency markets. I profited very nicely from 2020 to 2022, and based on buying in the bear market, I feel that I'm gonna profit heavily in 2024 to 2025. The difference is I pull from super high risk. This is super high risk, guys. Super high return. You can get huge profits. So I'm holding 50% for legacy, but I'm exiting 50%. But what do I do with the 50%? So after I pay Uncle Sam, okay, I move it down, the house money, into insurance. So I use insurance for a couple different reasons. Think about this. Say I put in 10 bucks into cryptocurrency, I profit 20. I pull 10 bucks off the table, I pay 20 bucks to Uncle Sam, I got 30 bucks left. Now I'm taking house money and I'm insuring my wealth. I use Index Universal Life personally. It allows me to leverage my money at a certain time frame. I can eventually leverage the cash value of my policy. Protection, protection, protection. I'm 48 years old. I don't have time to play games with my money. I want protection. When I see those markets come collapsing down, my principal is guaranteed, and I'm getting market-like returns because it's indexed, not in the market. So what I do is I pull house money from crypto, I pull it into my insurance policies. In 2024 to 2026, I'll be max funding all my policies. And then from there, I have access to the cash value at a certain amount of time, and depending on how the policies are set up. I have market protection, okay? And it's indexed, and I'm getting market-like returns, okay? Now the key to being indexed is there's a floor because of the principal, and there's a cap, right? So the insurance company doesn't lose money. So what I do with my businesses is I'm working to increase the cash value and the cash flow, and I put it into speculative assets, and I repeat the process. So from 2024 to 2026, we're gonna go through a massive bull market, which I've been accumulating. I'm gonna see a big, huge increase in profit. I'm gonna max fund my policies, and then from there, I can borrow against them, tax-free, against my cash value, and I can buy more assets, richest man in Babylon. So I started doing that from 2020 to 2022. I'm gonna be heavily doing this from 2024 and beyond. So first phase was financial freedom, understanding how wealth actually works. The second phase now is building generational wealth foundation for my family. And the next phase is making sure it goes from generation to generation. So that's exactly, from my paradigm, what I'm doing. I currently use Index Universal Life. Some people use Whole Life, but make sure this is so, so key. The agent's job is to structure it properly. Your job is to fund it properly. Okay? These type of policies are not about the death benefit. Make sure they're maximizing your living benefit and not the death benefit. So that's exactly what I do with my crypto profits. I did that from 2020 to 2022, and now I'm going to do that from 2024 to 2026. And we're going to continue to repeat this cycle as boom and bust cycles come in. So remember, rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, follow rule number 1. Warren Buffett. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.